Hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad, and I hope you all had a good holiday season. I know that ours was not good. We had to take Wilson to the vet because he jumped on the stove and burned his paw. But anyways, that was a minor mishap. It's actually been kind of fine otherwise. So today we're gonna get back into F tier Fridays, and I put up a poll for this one, and it seemed like Teklo won the overwhelming majority. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we get into it, I do want to mention that I've slightly improved the production quality of our video. As you can now see, we now have a cat cam, and this I guess we'll just cover like the Talishar chat. I may try to move it around a little bit. But yeah, cat cam, significant improvement. They're just chilling up there. Philip's licking himself. Wilson should have his cone on, but he's been, he's had good behavior, so he doesn't really need his cone right now. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get into the deck. So the deck is just a CYB Fatigue Teklo. I don't know if there's another legitimate way you can build Teklo, but not running CYB seems kind of suspect to me. I actually got Kobe from Looking for Scrap to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on the deck list. The only change I think he suggested I make was to swap out, add in some Evo recalls for some AB in the board. But yeah, we're running a full Fatigue Teklo package, 57 main deck. We also have some more Reacts, some TNC, some Oasis for those pesky wizards in the board. Also running Warmongers, and I'm also trying to do the stupid Tunic thing. So for those of you who don't know, you can run Tunic and Teklo and then use Fabricate to put a proto base. Like you can block with Tunic after you've like played out a couple Evos. Then you can block with it, get rid of it, and then equip a proto base, and then re-equip equipment on top of that proto base. So it's a little bit clunky. I've heard rumors that this is not like actually a very good thing, but I'm gonna give it a try anyways because this is how I played Teklo like way back in the day. Yeah. One more thing to mention. So we talk a lot about like skill on the channel and like how to improve at your gameplay and stuff, but I think there's like an unmentioned aspect of improvement that a lot of people don't talk about, and that's opening packs. So Tegan is actually the champion of opening packs. And,
you know it.
Yeah. And tell me about the loose pack from your birthday. What did you get from it?
So our dear friend Bridget, shouts out to Bridget if she's watching.
She's probably not watching.
She's not, but whatever.
Yeah.
She bought me one of each pack released at the time from the store she worked at for my birthday, and out of the Bright Lights loose pack came my Marvel Necropotent. So that
you got that shit graded.
Oh yeah.
This is a nice little 9.5 Teklo,
and I've not won a game with it yet.
Yeah, you've not won a single game with it, but look at that shit.
I took it to Armory, had to play against Dromai. I had no fun. So yeah, one day.
Also, the green screen is like greening out some of it. It's kind of funny.
One day, that will be a good hero, and I'll
one day
be able to play my Macropotent. But until then, it's really pretty, and I like to look at it.
Yeah, but for now, he is a F tier champion. So, yeah. Anyways, Marvel Macropotent, Tegan's really good at opening packs.
Always open sealed product.
Always open sealed product, as we say. Yeah, but with that, I think we're going to go ahead and get into the games. All right, so we have an Azalea. I don't actually know how this is going to go, but we'll give it a shot. I think we want to go first. Tunic seems fine. I think we want our removals for sure. Maybe our Warmongers, and then we can board out what? A fat decking a little bit. Oh, we definitely want our CNCs. Maybe cutting... Maybe honestly cutting the CYBs is probably right. It seems fine. All right, let's go ahead and try it. All right, we've got our adaptive dissolvers. Let's put them on all our zones. Sure. Okay, so we can start out with a nice little leg piece. That's pretty good. And we can arsenal CNC. I think that's the play. Seems pretty all right. We also get a little bit ahead on their Tunic, so probably play out the next Evo as if it basically was a 3 cost, which is kind of good. I think I'm ideally trying to look to block with this and maybe like block with a movable. Alright, Infecting Shot is fine. Lace is also fine. Seek is potentially not fine. Alright, coming in for 11. So I think we want to block with like Steel Soul, unmovable this, and then I think we can probably... Well, is there a better play, actually? Because I do want to CNC, ideally. And in order to CNC, we'd have to keep a blue in hand. So maybe actually the block is like this, and then we block with the move, we'll send CNC at them. I think I like that better. We can take... Actually, maybe taking 2 Blood Rot's also like unnecessary. Maybe do something like this? Block 6 here? No, that's wrong. Block 8? Sorry, the blocking math here is like fucking weird. Okay, let's do this and then do unmovable this. And then I guess we send CNC. Yeah, the blocks here are a little bit weird. Because it feels like we're losing out on value from unmovable, but I do want to just develop out. Or I guess, I don't know if we still did this right. Okay, whatever. We're just going to send CNC. I think it's fine. Should at least be pretty annoying for them. So you can either get rid of their arsenal or something better. Seems fine. Alright, Codex of Blood Rot. Sure. So we'll go ahead and put, I guess, a movable in arsenal is like kind of worth it, right? And next turn we do get the Tunic Dream where we can develop out a Evo just using Tunic. Alright, they see an infecting shot off the top. That's not the end of the world. Alright, and then we got the Lace. Right, a lot of double Blood Rot. So we can actually just immovable this if we really want to. It'd save us like a bunch of damage. I think I'm fine with that, honestly. Play on immovable, cover the whole thing. And then play out Steel Soul on our turn. Seems pretty decent. Alright, pass it back. Does Ripple Away work with Azalea tokens?
It depends.
Like Lace with Inertia, Lace with Blood Rot. I think it does, right?
I think so.
I think it because it gives your arrow attack that. So this cares about if an action card. So
Try it and then tell me if it works.
It should work, right?
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah, because it's not like Azalea or anyone else is making the token. It's just the cards themselves that are making the tokens.
Yeah, let me know if it doesn't work. Let me know.
Okay, if it doesn't work, I'm getting a Talishar refund, but it's fine. Notably, Warp Machine is pretty good against Azalea. It's pretty solid. So you can like block 7 here and maybe send out a War Machine. Seems pretty decent. Alright. Do have the infecting shot coming in. Not bad. And Lace, also not terrible. Release, also fine. We don't have any D-Reacts anyways. So this is coming in for 11 Dominate. It's kind of scary. I guess we can technically ripple away this to get rid of Blood Rot, which I guess is not nothing. So we have 5 block here, so there's no real point in blocking this. I think we are just going to ripple away this. Should work, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and ripple away. Which will prevent the Blood Rot and the Frailty, at least. This is effectively blocking 2 there, which I think is fine. On our turn, we'll just send out the War Machine. I don't really want to Arsenal. Like, I want to ideally play out the War Machine instead of Arsenaling it, so I think sending it here is, like, pretty okay. Feels good to board out CYBs too, just so we're not playing just CYB slop, basically. Alright, we do get their arsenal, which is really good. Alright, more reacts are also welcome. We notably don't have this piece yet, so I do want to look to block with it this turn if I can. Alright, Azalea has a take game, and they're going to try to find something to dominate, I assume. So it looks like they are bottoming. Or no, they're topping. Sure. So coming in with Bolt and Shot for 7. I think we're just going to try to double block this like that. That seems fine. I just want to get this into the yard as soon as possible, I think. All right, might need a refresh. All right, so CNC goes to the bottom. I don't think that's ideal for us, but seems to be fine. I think we do just want to block this to prevent the reload, although it looks like they have Rain Razors anyway, so that's fine. I think here our plan is to just block whatever they do next, and then Arsenal Fate. Okay, they do get a Murkmire, which doesn't do a ton against us, but I guess it's better than nothing. So we go ahead and block with Fate Foreseen here. Ooh, I do kind of want the Warmongers against Azalea, so I think I'll top that. Especially if they're going to have like a setup turn next turn. Like I imagine on a 4-card hand, they're going to try to Arsenal something at the end of it. So I think here we're just going to Arsenal this and then hold on to our Warmongers so that when they set up the 5-card hand, we can try to punish them for it, I guess. It looks like they are knocking, which is fine. Okay, we can maybe have the opportunity to refresh our legs here, or alternatively, we can also like Junkyard Dog and get our controller and Vanish. Both very tempting. We haven't seen our chest piece yet, which I think is the last kind of piece we're missing. All right, getting a drill shot here makes somewhat sense. I don't think it really does a ton against us because we still get to keep our stuff. If we had 2 counters on this, I think it would destroy it, if that's how that card works, I think. Or no, it doesn't even destroy it, right? Because it's when if this defended, yeah, so it doesn't work with that way with temper. But they can at least like develop out a counter on something which is semi-relevant. Alright, so we see a drill shot coming in for 4. Do ideally we just want to play out the Warmongers here. So what happens if we keep the whole hand? Wait, can we Teklo Vossen? So we play as an instant, draw a card. So we pitch this, play this as an instant, draw a card. So we can block. We don't block here. We can actually double block here if we want to. So maybe double block like this. And then if they want to like Rain Razors trick us, we can fade it, and that's fine. And then we do the Teklo Vossen to play as an instant, and then Warmongers. I think that's the play, honestly. Alright, so they have the Razor trick, that's fine. So we played around that. We'll play Fate Foreseen here, and then we can just Arsenal whatever we draw. I think this is maybe an okay Arsenal. I think I'd rather just bottom it, though. It's like a somewhat reasonable Arsenal, but I don't think it's super necessary. Oh, wait, whoops, sorry. Might have passed your turn. Okay, so Fate. Bottom. Sure. So notably, they're not setting up a 5-card hand here, but I think that's okay. So we'll go ahead and pitch this to Teklo Vossen, and then we'll play out the Soul Tower just to refresh our legs a little bit. Junkyard Dog is not the most amazing draw, but it's kind of fine. Let's go ahead and just play Warmongers, though. We can just use this to get our controller in the banish, which I think is worth it. Still looking to find the chest piece so we can block with our tunic. We'll go ahead and choose War. Actually, I don't know if that's correct. We might have wanted to choose peace, but I guess it works out with this hand. Again, I think I like playing with Tunic a lot in Teklo Vossen. Okay, they're just going to pass, which I think is really good for us. Okay, so notably here, I think we just want to send out something. I think the play is going to be honestly like sending out Terminator Tank. It's kind of interesting here. Fortunately, we have to like sit on this Junkyard Dog and Arsenal, which I don't love, but I think sending this out is like kind of reasonable. And then we can maybe like filter this Evo to Teklo Vossen's ability, and then just hold on to CNC is maybe reasonable. Alright, so do get them to discard a card. I wonder if setting CNC is actually better there. Probably is, right? Alright, we do get rid of an amplifying error, which is not nothing. And I think we'll just pitch this to Teklo. Okay, we do find our Fabricate, which means we can now block with our Tunic if we want to. Alright, Lace with Inertia is fine. All right, so now is the time to block. We have 14 coming in. If we fabricate, give it +1. We can block here, here. This is blocking 7 effectively, and then we block 3 additional here. Send CNC at them. Well, how much? So this is blocking 7. We need to cover 14. Then we can like block out. We block like this, take the inertia. This getting inertia to the bottom is not like the end of the world. And then we just send CNC on our turn. It's kind of fine. I think well, the problem with fabricate is also that we need to block with the tunic first. Okay, this card is also like incredibly awkward, by the way. But it's very awkward with tunic because you have to like set it up. But I think it might also just be a skill issue. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Maybe we don't fabricate this turn. Maybe we just block out and then fabricate, like something like this, maybe. And then once we get rid of tunic, then we can just re-equip our Evo and like put it under or something. I think that seems fine. All right, so let's go ahead and play out fabricate, equip our proto equipment, and then put this under. I guess we'll put it under memory, I guess. I don't think it really matters. All right, find our singularity. We notably do not have the setup yet to do that, though. Probably not going to block with it, but we might just pitch it to like leveler or something. Depends on what they do. All right, Azalea, they get a sleep dart, which is notably whatever against Teklo. We don't even have anything in banished yet, so not doing a ton. I think we're gonna pitch singularity here, maybe. It's a little bit weird. All right, sleep dart coming in. Also with dominate, so we can fate this. Maybe we could arsenal singularity, but it's so greedy. I think that's got to be wrong, right? I think what we're supposed to do is probably just. So Teklo actually getting turned off is a little bit unfortunate because that means that we can't like play Scrapyard and then play it from banish. Well, I guess we couldn't do that anyways, right? Okay, so maybe it's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and just block with this, and then we can like arsenal the fate, play a junkyard dog. I think that seems fine. I think it seems fine. We'll pitch a singularity for later. I don't think we want to get super greedy. All right, so we'll take 8 here. Teklo's turned off. Banish, steal soul controller, so we can play it on a later turn, and then we get a nice little D-react in arsenal. I think we're kind of chilling here. Fortunately, we're not going to get to see singularity this game, or we might not get to that point, but we'll see. All right, what are the modes on fabricate? All right, there's nothing about like playing it as an instant or anything. Okay, sure. So base, +1, under, and banish. Okay. Hand blocks pretty well though, so we got that going for us. Still have 3 armor here, although like one of its armor we can't block with. So I'm gonna adjust the cam very slightly. Okay. So Codex coming in, sure. So I do like to see them playing Codex before playing buffs. I think that's pretty good for us. All right, they're gonna load up a Bolton shot, which is totally fine. So notably, we can't really play out a ton here. I'd almost rather like try sink below and maybe try to find something better that we can play. So we'll go ahead and sink here. I think we're gonna sink like fabricate because we already did our fabricate thing basically. All right, looks like they're gonna snap. Didn't this already have Gogan? Okay, sure. We'll go ahead and button that. Sure. Snaps is very interesting. All right, loading up a bullseye. All right, plus Lace plus Bolton. Sure. So I think here we just want to play out Warmongers on our turn. We could also just like fate this if we wanted to, but I don't think that's necessary. I think we're fine to give them like a Blood Rot and Arsenal. I think it's fine because they already have a Ponder token anyways. So realistically, all we're doing is giving them like a slight bit of filtering and then a Blood Rot. I think we're just looking to try to hose them with Warmongers next turn. All right, which we'll go ahead and do. All right, we will. I kind of want to try Peace. What do we have in Arsenal? We have that. I think it's Peace, honestly, because I think we're just trying to develop out Evos at this point. All right, I'm very grateful that I chose Peace because this is a very peaceful hand. All right, we have an Endless Arrow coming in. So we already have this in Banish, which is good. Wait, can we double Evo? If we play this for 3, we play Controller out. No, so we have to pay this for 4, draw into a blue. We still can't do it, right? All right, so we can't double Evo, which is fine. I think we need like another blue for that. Would that work? Anyways, Endless Arrow coming in. I think that's fine. I think we're going to just try to develop out like Steel Soul Processor here and then go from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and just block 3 on this. If they want to IP themselves with Endless Arrow, I'm kind of like fine with that. Lovingly call it IP Arrow most of the time. All right, let's go ahead and just equip our chess piece and then pass back. So very grateful that I chose piece. All right, we do have some decent. We have 1 equipment in Banish. Is that the only one? Yeah. Okay. So we can't like do a super cool scrap trader line, but I think it's still fine. We're sitting on a removal plus Fate Foreseen, which I think is really good. All right, they will Azalea. Looks like they bottomed one. Sure. This looks like they're just developing out a Lace plus pre-med plus another Lace plus Codex. Not Codex. Plus Death Dealer load. Sure. Oh, loading the Endless Arrow. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. So this is a pretty big Endless Arrow. At least they got that going for them. All right. 19 damage on Endless Arrow is definitely not bad. But we can kind of just deal with that. So we can block like 5 here. This will be 7. Plus another 4. So 16. We can block 3. So I guess we're just fine to... Well, oh, wait, we can't block like that. We need to block like this. 7, 5, 15, 4. Yep, okay. So we block like this. And we'll fully cover it, put that on the bottom, pass back. All right, so we might end up seeing a singularity this game. Kind of depends. I think they're going to fatigue before we see it, though, if I had to imagine. All right, they get a Blood Rot. Codex of Blood Rot. I do like this card a lot. I think it's quite cool. Let's go ahead and Arsenal our Sync here. All right, they had a Sleep Dart, which does prevent us from playing our Steel Soul Controller out, but we do have the arms as backup, I guess. All right, we're slightly in the singular. I think it's coming around like 2 or 3 turns, if I had to imagine. All right, so we cannot play DRX from Arsenal. That's okay. We could block 4 here. I just want to play out the arms next turn. I don't think there's really a reasonable. We take 5 here, we develop out arms, and then we pass back. We could also just play out Warmongers too. Warmongers seems also pretty reasonable. Yeah, I feel like Warmongers is honestly maybe better. Just buy us some time to develop out our last Evo. Then we're still just sitting on sync, which I think is good. All right, we'll choose piece here. Pass back. All right, not exactly a peaceful hand, but our plan here is to develop out an Evo anyways. Oh, they're also choosing piece. Okay. I think that's good for us, given how few cards they have left in deck. So I think Warmongers was definitely the play there. All right, so what do we want to do here? So obviously we're under peace. We can't do very much. We can fabricate at least, which does not do a whole lot. I think the play is to just like overpitch and just try to like filter our hand. I just want to kind of try to find a singularity for the meme value mostly. All right, they do whiff off Azalea, which is good for us. So hitting a Seek and Destroy, I think is fine. All right, we're fully evoed out, which I think is where you want to be. I think the singularity is coming up in like 1 to 2 turns, if I had to guess. So we just got to kind of survive until then. All right, fortunately, we've had the reacts for all of their codexes too, which is pretty rough. All right, discarding Murkmire. Assume they're going to send like a big Bolton shot or something. All right, coming in for 7. You just block 7 here. Seems kind of reasonable, and then we can like refresh something next turn. Sure. All right, Tunic plus Death Dealer, sure. Another Bolton shot is fine. What are we doing next turn? I think we're just blocking out with this again and just sitting on sync. It's honestly probably the best line. Yeah, there's no... I guess we can, like, play what Liquid Cool made him, but, like, you have to block kind of inefficiently to do that. Sure. I think it's okay. We're just in the Singularity waiting room at this point, I think. Should be coming up, like, next hand, if I had to guess. It's, like, next hand or the hand after this, I think. Alright, seems like it's hand after. Alright, if I'm wrong, you can all accuse me of not knowing how to pitch stack because I played Zen for so long. But I'm like 95% sure it's, like, right after this. Like, it's got to be... All right, my prediction is in the top 4 cards. Or it's, like, the 5th card. If it's not either of those, then I don't know. It's somewhere in there. All right, they do get Dominate on this, which is a little bit scary. But I think they're kind of out of buffs at this point. All right, so we can actually maybe try to even sink into it. Block 5 here, and then maybe just send CNC. I guess that's probably better, right? All right, they do have the Razor. Are we okay with that? I think we're fine with that. So I think here we'll just send in Leveler for 3-go again, and then finish on CNC. It's pretty decent. Teklo Azalea matchup seems actually kind of fair. Somewhat fair. All right, we get a Murkmire. Okay, so I was completely wrong. Maybe it's the top card. I could have sworn it was like top 4, but we've pitched a lot of cards this game, so maybe I'm misremembering. I think I will try to draw it. I'm like pretty sure. Okay, so I guess it's not that. That's fine. So we could actually instant speed, try to draw into it, but that doesn't do very much. So I think it's just Leveler plus Evo Steel Soul. And then I guess we'll basically draw 5 here. So we should draw into it now. All right, we did draw into it. That's good. Why didn't this... Huh. Why didn't this work? Wait, let me read this card again. Oh, with a different name. Ah, right. So, okay. That makes sense. So you can't play out this to refresh it. Okay. We're learning. That makes sense. So I do want to try to just sync blow here to find a blue, ideally. Looks like they might have a pretty big turn, though. So we can actually fabricate here as well. So let's put this under even current, get +1 block. Put it under our helmet, I guess. I don't think it really matters. This comes in for 10. We block 4, 3, like that. I guess we want to maybe save some back. So maybe let's like block here, here, here. And then we can sink. Seems fine. I want to try to just sink into a blue here. All right, we did not find a blue. Shit. All right, that's bad. But maybe it's still fine because we can like Teklo leveler plus base entry legs, I guess. All right, so our Arsenal Singularity, hopefully that will let us play it. But at this point, we basically just deck them. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So unfortunately, Singularity continues to be a meme card, but it is at least very pretty. So give it that. Let's see if we can get another. All right, we've got a Viserai. Against Viserai, I think we just want Warmongers for extra blues, and then I think everything else is pretty fine. Oh, we probably want maybe like 1 or maybe 3 of these over or what. We can also cut the CYB plan, honestly. Maybe just run like CNCs here. I think that seems reasonable. Let's give it a shot. All right, so let's make sure to put them all on. All right, we do get a turn 1 Evo, which is pretty good. I think that's probably just the play. And we can Arsenal Fate Foreseen here. Notably, Ripple Away is not actually that good against Viserai because most of the rune chants come from the hero ability. But I'm pretty happy at least getting an Evo online pretty early. Alright, Grasp is fine. Next turn, we can theoretically play out Terminator Tank if we want to. How concerned do we have to be about... What's that card? The, What's that card called? It's the, Succumb to Temptation. I don't think we need to be too concerned here. I think we're just going to pay 1 just to kind of be a little bit safe from that, and then we can just send Terminator Tank. They don't pop their Spellbound Creepers to send it. I think that's fine with me, honestly. Alright, so go ahead and take a little bit of damage here. Technically, on paper, we're taking more damage than we should be here, but I think, like, doing this to kind of, like, set up is fine. Alright, so they're going to pass back. Our turn, I think we're just going to send the Terminator Tank. We're still sitting on React in Arsenal, which I think is quite good for us. Did I cut the CYBs in this match? I think I did, right? The reason I was kind of cutting CYBs was for like Reaping Blade purposes, because I think it's pretty likely that we'll be at a... Actually, I don't know. I think we're more likely to be at a lower life total, so maybe it's not actually that bad, but again, we can kind of just pay into a lot of chance, so I think that's also fine to just run a bunch of blues. It's kind of interesting to think about. Again, I don't have a ton of reps in this matchup. Okay, I do like to see armor kind of out of the way early, though. I think that's good for us. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pass here. I think Viserai is a bit of a scarier matchup. Like, I think if we don't see that Evo turn 1, we're in pretty bad shape, and if we don't go first, we're also in pretty bad shape. Alright, do like the hand, though. Hand blocks pretty well and then sends CNC. Alright, notably does not block a bunch of rune chants pretty well, though. Alright, double dirge. Okay, that is very scary. Alright, 10 rune chants is pretty bad. How do we want to deal with this? I don't think we do. I think our plan here is just block with, like, Firewall. You block with Firewall and then send CNC at them. Well, I guess they are going to have an Arsenal because they're going to draw a card. Sure. So I guess we can pay 1 with War Machine here. And then skip all the other root chants. 0. Block with Firewall here. Block with Firewall here. Hold on to the CNC. So a pretty good turn from them. I'm so glad they printed these things that have AB. I think Teklo needed it pretty bad. Ooh, we do see a Steel Soul on top, so we get to keep that. That's also pretty decent. Might mean we want to try to block with our Tunic or block with that at some point. Alright, but I think here we're just sending CNC just to try to force him off Arsenal. We got Wilson cheering us on from the cat tree. Alright, go ahead and send in the CNC, so they will need to give us at least one card here, if not more. Theoretically representing Pummel here, but I don't think Pummel Teklo is incredibly real. Alright, I'm happy to see 2 cards out of them, though. So I think everything's going according to plan. Alright, we do see our Fabricate, which maybe means we want to try to use up our Tunic this turn if we can. Alright, so Amplify plus 3 runes. I think we're going to try to block with Tunic here just so we can like develop it out. So pay 1, I think, here. And then for the rest of it, how do we want to block? So I think blocking with Fate makes it. What if we Fabricate, banish this from hand to draw a card? Then we should have enough to play it, so that means we can Arsenal Sink below. I think that makes the most sense. So we'll skip the Rune Chance here. We're not under threat of Succumb. So I think that works. And then we'll block 5 on 9. Is there a reason to block with Steel Soul yet? Maybe it's fine to just cash in the value, but what I'm a little bit concerned about is I'm just going like super over the top with Rune Chance, and then we're not going to be able to deal with it. So maybe preserving life total is a little bit important. Just developing out the block value is also like decent. All right, so go ahead and Fate here. Opt on top. So I think we want that Fate on the bottom so we can ideally draw into like blue or something more impactful. Let's take 1 here. All right, it's pretty. Okay, yeah, we lose our Tunic. That makes sense. Sure. So Fabricate, we'll banish, equip a Proto. I was worried because I was like, what the fuck, we lost our equipment, but we're totally fine here. All right, so draw a Steel Soul Processor. We can not play this at instant speed, but it's fine. So I guess the question is, can't double do it either. I guess we could like Arsenal this if we want to get really aggressive, but I also don't think that's super necessary since it's getting rid of our only AB source. So I think it's fine to me. Just pitch that way for now. Equip the chest. Arsenal, pass back. All right, Warmongers I do like to see. All right, Machinations also kind of fine. The art on this card is kind of wild. Kind of looks like, what's that guy's name? I'm trying to think of that guy's name. It's like the Marvel guy, the guy with like the huge helmet. You know what I'm talking about?
What are you talking about?
Machinations of Dominion. Who does that look like? I'll think about it after, but no. The other guy, like the huge guy.
What huge guy? Oh, Galactus.
Galactus, that's what it was. Okay. So, Rune Flash coming in with Overpower, I think that's fine. I think here we honestly just don't even want to block. We can maybe try to bait them into using Succumb or something. That's pretty reasonable. Say no blocks. Do you want to just try to develop out an Evo here? Alright. Seems like they're fine to pass as well. Yeah, we'll just keep doing our thing. Feels a little bit weird to play out 2 Warmongers. Ooh, Evo Speed Slip is actually the perfect Evo here because it lets us preserve our AB1. I think that's really good. Unfortunately, the problem with like this Evo in particular is that it doesn't have base. So like this is the last Evo you can play basically. All right, Runic Reckoning, a little bit scary, but we do have a pretty decent blocking hand. And I think our whole entire plan is basically just play this out. So we'll skip the rune chance here. I think our plan is to just block 7 with like Terminator Tank, and that will... We could theoretically pay into AB if we wanted to as well. Don't think that's super necessary though. I think we'll just pay 0. So we are getting pretty low, but we do still have a ton of armor left. So maybe we honestly want to cash in a little bit of armor. Just so we're not dying to runes. Well, we're still at like a pretty healthy life total, but don't want to get too low. So I think here, let's go ahead and just block here. We'll fate whatever they do next, I think. Maybe we could have blocked with the Steel Soul Memory, actually, just to get an extra 1 block on that, but seems fine. Forgot that this was on 1 counter instead, too. Okay, so we have 2 rune chants coming in. I think we can go ahead and just pay a little bit to these. Maybe should have paid to the first one, but I think it's fine. They swing sword, they're going to be coming at us with 1 more rune chance. So I think here we're just going to go ahead and like sink below. Maybe try to bait out a succumb, but it seems unlikely. All right, go ahead and just sink here. No sink, and then we can save the Terminator Tank for blocking if we need to. And then just develop out Evo Speed Slip so we always have 1 AB. Okay, so I think this works out. We'll pay 1 here. Could also not block with this if we really wanted to, but it's a little bit greedy if they draw like Succumb. Actually, is it greedy? I think we'll just block with Steel Soul Controller then. Keep our life total high. I think saving this in Arsenal is probably worth it. So I think we'll get this Speed Slip online so we get the 4th Evo and then just Arsenal that's back. Alright, hand is not amazing, but hopefully we can get Sink Below to fix it. So we're going to be taking probably a decent amount of rune chant damage this turn. That is Secret Mordred Tide. So at least that's out of the way. Malefic is also quite bad right now. Alright, Swarming Gloomveil coming in. So we can't really pay into any of these rune chants right now. I think it's fine to just sink and try to find a blue. I don't think we need a scrap trader either, so I think we're probably just getting rid of that as well. Alright, so go ahead and pass here. Alright, we're still playing around Succumb. Get rid of the scrap. Okay, we do not find a blue, which is pretty bad. Alright, so I think here we're just blocking out. So this is only coming in for 6. So I guess we can just go ahead and pay 1. Not ideal. Alright, skip our rune chance. Yeah, maybe cutting the CYBs is honestly wrong. I can see that being the case. If we did cut them. I'm not 100% sure. Alright, but we'll block 6 here. So they get a fair bit of runes, and they also get an arsenal, but we're still got like 1 or 2 turns, I think, left in us. Alright, so we'll pass back. Alright, we do find Singularity, but that is very, very greedy, especially since we will not have AB when we flip. I feel like Terminator Tank and stuff is more so our win con into Viserai. Seems like a really bad matchup. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's just we're at like a pretty low life total. So we can Singularity this, but like, oh, it's so I feel like we need to save this for later, right? Or maybe just not even play it at all. Maybe just block with it. So maybe we pay into a couple of the rune chants here. Take 1 rune chant, block with Firewall, send this, and maybe Arsenal this, but that could get stuck in our Arsenal for a bit. They could also face Purgatory it. I guess we can just block with it since they're coming for 7. I forgot about the Runic, so I think this makes sense. Then they swing Reaping Blade at us, which is fine, I think. But I think getting rid of Singularity makes sense here. I think we're just too far behind, and getting rid of our AB seems really bad. Alright, Rune Rager plus Dagger, or Nebula Blade. So we'll skip the runes. Again, I think our win con here is like developing out Terminator tank. So no rune chance. I think we'll just get a little bit of equipment block in here, just so we can kind of stay a little bit healthy. We can also block Nebula Blade as well. K0. And I think we'll just cash in a little bit of value on our equipment, since staying alive is kind of important. Alright, go ahead and send the tank for an iron, which at least this card's pretty good. So it should demand, or it should strip a card out of their hand at least. So we got that going for us. But again, them on a 3-card hand probably still does enough to get us. I'm trying to think what we need here. Honestly, maybe CYB is honestly the matchup, the answer in this matchup. All right, seems like they're gonna take it, which seems kind of smart. Again, this hero is F tier for a reason, I think. I just don't think we're able to really like race Viserai in a meaningful way. All right, I do like to see Amplify if we can like hit him with a War Machine. That could be our way. Yeah. So they may want to revert. Okay. So we'll get some rune chance here, coming in for 6. We don't have to worry about succumb here, so I think blocking with our this makes sense, and then just sending War Machine at them, arsenaling Fate. So maybe our ticket back in the game. So get out of 2, which is scary. Evo's short circuit's also kind of like a funny kill condition, I guess. A little bit. If we can keep him off a 5-card hand, though, I think we might have like a small chance. But if they like face Purgatory here, discard our Fate, it's pretty bad. We maybe honestly should have just blocked with this. I think that's probably more correct than trying to hold on to it, because this is like a super face-up face Purgatory. Although, wait, how does Overpower work? They can't block with more than one action, right? So they can't face Purgatory us. So I think I unintentionally am actually fine here. I always forget how Overpower works. Moving on, it's like 2 action cards, right? That you can only block with 1 action card. All right, so we get rid of Succumb. I think that's okay. I don't know if Succumb was doing a ton against us anyways, but all right, become the Arknight. We can maybe live through this. All right, discarding a 9th blade to get what here? All right, Revel and Runeblood is definitely scary. So they have go again on this. Pitching another Succumb. All right, so we have 2 Succumbs basically out of the way for now. Let's go ahead and pay into this, I guess. We'll pay with Steel Soul. We need to pay or else we basically die. So, seems reasonable. Let's go ahead and Fate here so we can just guarantee we're drawing into blues. I think makes the most amount of sense. Pitch anything that's not a blue. Okay, that is a blue, but it's not an incredible blue, but I think it's probably fine to just leave on top. I think that makes sense. All right, then we see the Revel plus Reaping Blade, I assume. Can't we actually pay for all? So 6, block with Steel Soul, go to 1. So I guess we have to block with our entire hand, right? Or we have to give up an equipment. That's pretty bad. Oh no, we can sink below this if we want to. So I guess we'll just take 1 rune chain damage and then pitch to a Reaping Blade, I guess. Or block with Reaping Blade. So we don't get to hold on to a D-React here, but I think that's fine. So go to 1. I definitely think I learned my lesson that we probably do want CYBs, even though they're not like blues or anything. So I'll take 1 here. And then we'll use sync to cover it up. Yeah, we really need them to have like a Viserai turn at some point. And by a Viserai turn, I mean a complete brick of a turn or something. Yeah, they have, I think, had at least one of those already, though. All right, Sonata will kill us if it comes in for any amount more than 1. All right, looks like they're going to Rattlebones instead. Sure. So Sonata is also a card that I did not consider. I think that's the first one, too. So that will probably kill us at some point. All right, coming in for 3. So one trick that Viserai can technically do is like make a rune chant off of like spellbound creepers, and then this comes in for 1 more and kills us. So you do have to play around that. I think the answer to that is maybe blocking 5 here, and then if they want to do the creepers trick, then we at least are safe against that. It might have been a thing where we can't really afford to do that, but we'll see. All right, hopefully the Sonata. So the Sonata is only coming in for 0 though, so we should be safe from. Okay, it looks like they also whiffed. Okay, I think this is what we needed. So that's at least good for us. Let's go ahead and pay. Problem is our Evos are also completely wasted. So let's go ahead and pay 1 with the liquid cooled. Yeah, but if they see their second Sonata, I think we basically just lose at some point. All right, pay another 1. Fortunately, this doesn't have go again, which is, I guess, at least a little bit good for us. Go ahead and block with the War Machine, which is kind of one of our only outs, it feels like, but we'll make the best of it. All right, and then we'll finish with Scrap Trader in Arsenal. All right, 5-card Viserai hands. Let's hope it's a complete brick somehow, but it seems unlikely. All right, Become the Arknight, I don't think is a brick. We do at least have Fabricate, which could maybe save us here with the leftover equipment. All right, they're getting a Rattlebones. Interesting. How's the cat treating you?
He's trying to jump on the bookshelf, so I'm just holding him hostage for an hour.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold him like this for an hour until it's dinner time.
Sure. All right, we got Soaring Gloomveil coming in. I think we honestly maybe just need a Fabricate in response. So let's go ahead and banish an Evo. Evos get +1 block. Let that resolve. Banish the Evo Steel Structure. Get an Evo Recall. Kind of interesting. So now let's go ahead and pay 1 here, pitching Recall since it doesn't block for anything anyways. Pitch another 1. Then this will come in for 4. Can block 3 here, and then 1 here, or 2 here, I guess. Actually, maybe it's more efficient to block 2 and 2. Seems a little bit better. All right, let's block like that. We can also block with this Speed Slip, I think, right? That's pretty cool. Card normally does not get blocked with. All right, I'm glad we did that instead of blocking with this, because now we have extra blues for the Rebel. So we are kind of staying alive here. Slightly. So we can still block. So we need to block all that, and then... Alright, so we have to block other enchants. Alright, block. Additional. So I think at this point, so we can block here, here. So we need a block with one more equipment, right? I think that's our only out. So unfortunately, we do lose one of our evos. But maybe our win condition here is basically supposed to be fatigue instead of like Mecropotent, which kind of makes sense. Again, I haven't played Teklo in a very long time, so some of my sideboarding choices might seem a little suspect. But I think this kind of works out. Like we do lose out on our Evo, which is really, really bad, but better than dying. So on our turn, I think we're going to scrap trader, play, or banish these two, maybe? We probably shouldn't have banished the arms. It's gain 4. Oh, I guess that doesn't even work, right? God, this Teklo guy's really, really quite bad. Or maybe I'm just bad, but we cannot play this notably, so we probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Okay, we still can win this somehow. I will do my best to figure it out, but Viserai seems to be doing us pretty good here. All right, Morgitide, also a little bit scary. So I think, again, I think I'm approaching this matchup wrong. So I think what I should be doing instead is just going for the full CYB like fatigue strat and not trying to like really worry about a ton of our Evo stuff. All right, they do whiff again on Sonata. So we got that going for us at least. All right, we can also pay into this. So maybe we're not completely out of this yet. I should have an extra scrap trader right now. I just didn't want to do because kind of feel like this game should be over pretty soon. All right, keep pitching. Fortunately, we do have a lot of blues. All right, let's hope we can just fumble our way into a win here. I don't know exactly how we're going to do that, but we're going to give our best effort to try. All right, so we have Malefic coming in. That's probably bad. Can't ripple away. You can ripple away on Malefics, right? That might be interesting this turn. All right, so Rune Rager. So I think we do actually ripple. It's not going to stop the Viserai trigger, but it will stop Malefics, I believe. Which I guess is good for us. Fabricate here is awkward. What if we just lose out on all our equipment? Is that like reasonable? Fabricate, block with everything, and then we lose them, but like I feel like our win con here is not actually like anything Evo related. I think it's just blocking every turn until they run out of steam. So I think this is fine. We'll just fabricate this. Give them all +1. Hold on to our speed slip. And then hope their next Sonata whips again. All right, block here. Put this under an Evo permanent. Yeah, I think that's right. So put it under speed slip since it's not going away. I definitely feel like I misplayed at one point this game. 1 or 2 points, but we're learning. One day this hero's going to be S tier, and the reps I get in now will surely pay off in the future. All right, we got Rune Flash +1. So I think that actually kills us because this says go again, right? So they can Nebula Blade. All right, I think we are resoundingly cooked at this point. So I think our opponent has figured out the line to victory. We did at least deny like 4 value off the Malefics, which is kind of interesting. It might have honestly been more correct to just hold on to the ripple away. It seems wrong, but I'm not sure. So in the future, to you Teklo fans, I think the strat for this matchup is to not even like try to go for Mecropotent or anything. I think it's just to go full CYB plan, but I also kind of just got bored of the CYB plan, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like every control deck that's F tier right now is basically just on CYB because it's the only thing they can really do. So coming in for 2. This will thoroughly kill us here. Alright, so we will go ahead and die to the Rune Chain, I guess, instead of the Imbue Levy. Okay, cool. So at least we illustrated why Teklo is kind of F tier, although I think we could have maybe done a little bit better if we were on the CYB plan. I think I did actually cut that, yeah. So I did end up cutting CYB, which I think is probably wrong in this matchup. I think we're almost always going to be at a lower life total, so Reaping Blade's never going to come into play. So I think that's maybe like the flaw in, I guess, my sideboarding there. But I think that goes to kind of show like what Teklo kind of struggles with, which I think is generally like good numbers decks. I think he kind of loses to, and also just kind of like he kind of just loses to himself a little bit, just based on like draws and based on like seeing the wrong stuff at the wrong time, that kind of thing. I think this is a fun build. Again, I kind of like the Tunic build just because it's a little bit more interesting than the other builds, but I think this is probably a good wrapping up point. Again, if you have any Teklo tips, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll see you all next time for next F Tier Fridays.